Why do nice guys always finish last? It's a question that has sparked countless debates, fueled countless books, and perplexed many a man and woman. Let's kick off this conversation by breaking down the paradox of the so-called nice guy. The term nice guy is often thrown around in societal discourse, usually referring to a man who is polite, agreeable, and generally pleasant to be around. But is that all there is to it? Not quite. As esteemed psychologists Jordan Peterson and Robert Glover point out, the nice guy persona often masks deep-seated insecurities and a lack of self-confidence. They suggest that nice guys tend to put others' needs before their own, often to the point of self-sacrifice, in an effort to be liked or to avoid conflict. But here's the paradox. This habit of constantly trying to please others, of being nice at all costs, can lead to a lack of authenticity. The nice guy may suppress his true feelings or desires, leading to resentment and dissatisfaction over time. This can have a detrimental effect on his relationships, particularly romantic ones, as partners may sense this lack of authenticity and feel disconnected. Moreover, societal perceptions of nice guys can be misleading. They're often seen as pushovers, as men who lack the courage to stand up for themselves or their beliefs. They're seen as too agreeable, too keen to please, and as a result, not truly respected or admired. But it's important to note that this is not about blaming nice guys or painting them as villains. It's about understanding the psychological dynamics at play and how these can impact a man's sense of self and his relationships. So, nice guys may not be as nice as they seem, but then what makes a man truly good? Stay tuned as we delve into the defining characteristics of a good man in the next segment. Let's delve into what a good man truly represents. A good man isn't just about being polite or agreeable. It's about embodying traits such as discipline, morals, fortitude, and strength. There's a phrase from Mike Campbell that goes, "Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment." It is through discipline that a good man can maintain his principles even when faced with adversity. He understands that success is not an accident but a result of repeated, consistent actions. Then there's the realm of morals. Mr. Forged once said, "Morals are not a sign of weakness but a badge of honor." A good man upholds his moral code, not because it's convenient but because it's right. He sets a standard for himself and others, and refuses to compromise his integrity. Fortitude, often misunderstood as mere physical strength, is another key attribute. It's the mental and emotional resilience to face and overcome challenges. It's about standing firm in the face of adversity, and it's this trait that distinguishes a good man from a crowd. Lastly, but certainly not least, is strength. Not just physical strength, but the strength of character. This is the kind of strength that enables a good man to lead, to inspire, to protect, and to serve. It's the kind of strength that is not threatened by the strength of others, but rather celebrates it. Now, how does society perceive good men? They're often seen as pillars of their communities, individuals who contribute positively to their surroundings. They're respected and admired, not because they demand it, but because they earn it through their actions. In relationships, they are dependable, supportive, and understanding. They know when to lead and when to follow, when to speak and when to listen. It seems clear then that being a good man has far more to offer than being a nice guy. But why is this dichotomy so important? Why does this distinction between nice guys and good men matter, you might ask? Well, it all boils down to psychology and the impact it has on personal satisfaction and relationships. Let's consider the nice guy persona. It's often a facade, a mask worn to please others, to avoid conflict, or to manipulate situations to their advantage. This lack of authenticity can create a significant chasm between their true selves and the image they project to the world. Over time, this discrepancy can lead to personal dissatisfaction and even a sense of identity loss. The psychological toll doesn't end there. In relationships, the nice guy act often leads to tension. Why? Because it's hard to trust someone who's not true to themselves, who's always bending over backwards to please. It creates a dynamic of unease where partners feel they're never truly knowing or connecting with the person beneath the nice guy mask. Now let's contrast this with the good man. A good man is authentic, principled, and true to his values. He's not afraid to stand up for what he believes in, even if it's unpopular. This authenticity breeds a deep sense of personal fulfillment as he's living in alignment with his beliefs and values. In relationships, a good man's authenticity fosters trust and respect. He's seen as reliable, consistent, and genuine, qualities that are foundational to any healthy relationship. He doesn't shy away from conflict, but rather uses it as an opportunity for growth and understanding, further solidifying the bond with his partner. So you see, the distinction between a nice guy and a good man goes beyond mere semantics. It's a difference of authenticity, principles, and ultimately the quality of life one leads. The nice guy may appear pleasing on the surface, but underneath, there's often a turmoil of dissatisfaction and unfulfilled potential. The good man, on the other hand, commands respect and lives a fulfilling life, not because he's trying to please others, but because he's true to himself. The difference, then, lies not in how one appears to others, but in how one lives their life. So, how can one strive to be a good man rather than a nice guy? To answer this, let's revisit the key points we've discussed. A nice guy is often seen as an overpleaser, someone who doesn't assert his own needs and desires. This, while seemingly kind, can lead to resentment and dishonesty. On the other hand, a good man stands firm in his convictions and isn't afraid to express his thoughts and feelings. He is authentic, principled, and shows strength in character. But how do we cultivate these traits? It starts with self-awareness, acknowledging our own needs and feelings, and respecting those of others. It involves developing a strong moral compass and the courage to abide by it, even when it's difficult. Strive for authenticity, not appeasement. Show kindness, but also assertiveness. Practice discipline, and cultivate a stoic masculine view. In the end, it's all about being true to oneself and living a life of principle. That's what being a good man is all about.